Hello, I'm Aussie Villain, and welcome to episode 60 of Raise the Halt, our quest to return Aston Villa to the top of European football. Now, since our last episode, you can see just the one game. We hosted Bristol City in the league, got a good 3-1 win. It was comfortable. We were able to rest a few players, which was good. As you can see, Ahmed Zovic came in, Bree, Williams, Mings on the wing, Doyle Hayes, the boob up front as well. And like I say, got a good win, so that was more than we could have hoped for. And Ahmed Zovic, he scored one of the best headed goals you would ever hope to see. It'll be in Goals of the Month, which will be not the end of this episode, but the end of the next one. So do keep an eye out for that as well. But this episode, we have Arsenal in the league, a game in which we could eliminate them from the title race, essentially, if we can get a win. I'd be more than happy with a draw. And then, of course, we'll play Middlesbrough as well before next episode. It's the European Champions League semi-final, 2 legs against Arsenal. So make sure, if you haven't already, subscribed so you're in for that one. But let's have a look at the league table before we get this episode underway. You can see Manchester United's already played this 34th game. They got a win, so they're now 4 points behind us. Obviously, we can extend that back out to 7 with a win against Arsenal here, which would essentially, as I said, eliminate them 10 points behind they'd be, and that would see them off for this season. I'd be more than happy with a draw, though. Keep them at 7 points, get 5 ahead of Manchester United, and go from there. And before we do get the game underway, we have another young youth player to introduce. As I said, I do want to name the youth products after you guys rather than computer-generated names. So everybody, let's meet Zelaw. You can see here, promising winger. I think we've sort of spoken about him before. He's being retrained as a central midfielder. I wouldn't mind in the future looking to retrain him as a winger as well. You can see he's got good pace, good finishing and dribbling as well. It's off the ball, I think, that lets him down as a striker. But passing and vision is right there as well. So good utility player of the future, I think, Zelaw. So look out for him. He is definitely one for the future, and he's interested right now. I think it was at Barnet. We have him listed for loan. I think it was Barnet. So maybe we'll send him out to on loan there for next season. We'll see how we go. But first things first, we have Arsenal. This is the team we're going with. Golini in goal, Williams, Van Drongelen, and Mings in central defence. We're going to try and play with a high line. So Mings has really good pace. So I'm hoping he'll allow us to play at that high line. Conte and Davies as the wingers. We're going for full strength, as we can see. Lima and Luis Felipe. Dele Alli up a bit more forward in place of Roberts as the attacking playmaker with Gonzalez and Wilson. The reason for that, Roberts has just come off a bit of an injury, if you remember last episode. So we've got him on the bench if we need him, but I don't particularly want to risk him. If we might be able to get it. Felipe's a very good player, and I think we won't lose much having him up there. Okay, so we can see the Arsenal formation. I'm always a little bit nervous not playing with wingers, like sort of a single striker and 2 wingers against this formation. But as long as our strikers mark the wing-backs, we should be okay and get away with it. So pick up where we left off is what Sergei Rebrov says. Given that it's a big game, I always feel go out there and enjoy yourselves. So it takes the pressure off a little bit. So we'll go with that. And then we'll go with passionate, we have faith. Yeah, try and get them revved up before we go out there. And hopefully we'll get a result here, because this would be a massive, if we can get any sort of result here would be huge. All right, here we go. This is obviously playing them so close to the Champions League. It gives us a good chance to sort of suss them out as well. So I am actually quite grateful for the timing of this game as a league fixture. As I said, just for a chance to see what does or doesn't work in this game, and then we can sort of amend things if needed for the Champions League. So a little bit light on highlights. They have had 3 shots to our 9, but we haven't had a shot on target in the game yet. They've had quite a little bit more of the ball, which is fine. The reason I wanted to play a high line is to try and sort of, if they want to have the ball away from our goal, that's fine. Let them have it. We just want to try and make sure that we're not sitting back against these teams that have, obviously talented players, because they have more money than we do. More money buys more talent, doesn't it? So we're not keeping the ball. Okay, from a corner. What can we do here? Out to Ali. Can Dele Alli get one in? No. It's going to be a counter-attack now. Come on, get there. Get there. No, not quite. It was a bit of a nothing ball forward. Mings has that. And can we build and go again? Bit of a lump forward. Can we get onto the end of the lump? We cannot. Rob Stark's there to head it clear. Odegaard. I wonder how he's developed in the game. Because he went to Real Madrid at 14 or 15 or something stupid, didn't he? Can we get a tackle in? And like I said, I don't like that they have the ball here. We don't want to concede so close to half time. Odegaard, can we get a tackle in? That's rubbish. If they want to shoot like that, they can shoot all day long. We haven't played that well individually, have we? The match ratings aren't fantastic. The defense is doing okay, but everybody else, I mean, given that we've had 40% of the ball and haven't had a shot on target, that would suggest that the rest of the team isn't doing too well. But 0-0 at half-time, we will definitely take that. Let's have a look here. Other games, City is absolutely pounding West Ham. Doesn't really make any difference to us, though, because they are long gone in terms of the title battle. Time to dig in. I think we'll go with that. That seemed to work. All right, come on. All right, so we haven't changed too much tactically. Defensively, the tactics are working because there was no highlights in that first half. So defensively, we're not too bad. It's the attacking that hasn't really looked good. That's not a good start to the half, is it? No, it's the end of the highlight, though. It's just, we haven't really had much going forward. We do, as I said, have Patrick Roberts on the bench if and when we need him. Just get another concentrate going. I don't want to overcommit in search of a goal, because like I say, a draw for us here is not a bad result. It keeps Arsenal 7 points away. United would still be 5 points away, so that gives us sort of a silly loss that we could get away with. So I'm more than happy just to let them bring the game to us. Bella in there. Oh, come on. We've just let him run straight past. Can we get that headed clear? Oh, crossbar saved us. That makes up for that last episode where we hit the crossbar. I think we hit the woodwork 4 or 5 times, and that's not an exaggeration. Last game. That was against Benfica, I think, wasn't it? We just could not get that game to go to bed. All right, come on, boys. Everyone's motivated, so that's a good thing. Looks like he wants to come off. Mings, we really need you to try and stay on, mate. We have Kone on the bench, who is a very good replacement, but obviously with a high line, Kone hasn't got the pace. He's better in the air, and that sort of leaves us a little bit vulnerable to a long ball over the top. Can we win that? No. Oh, come on. Who is marking him? Where's the striker on the... Someone's not marking the man there. It's Gonzalez, because that looks like Wilson over here, doesn't it? Can we get that out? Oh, they've played it through us. Golini with an unconvincing, but still a save. Concentrate. I'm thinking we might need to maybe change something here, because this half, they are definitely... Good save. They're looking the better team, aren't they? So what can we change is the question. I'm thinking... Oh, God damn it. It was coming. We can't say that wasn't coming. All right, so let's see what we can do here. All right, I think what we'll do is we'll put Patrick Roberts on for Luis Felipe, because we just have nothing going forward. And I do like Dele Alli in that box-to-box role. So we'll do that. And then we will play with more width. We might play at a higher tempo. And we'll go attacking, because at this point we don't really have too much to lose. And then we'll see how that goes. We might need to take Mings off just as, because he's picked up a knock. I would rather not do that, though. So we'll see how it's pulling up. If we lose him for a week or two, although we do need him as a left backup, don't we? We might need to take him off, He's not having his best game in any case, so we don't lose too much, I guess. If Ben Davies gets a knock and then we don't have him or Mings, then we start to find ourselves, and Lenglet as well has picked up an injury, so then we do start to scrape the barrel as far as left backs go. All right, Ben Davies, can he find a ball over the top? Can we pick up the second ball? No. We just haven't been in it this second half, which is... really, we weren't in it the first half. We just defended better, or Arsenal was off their game. See, that's straight through, and... Oh... Well, for all the bad luck we had against Benfica, if you haven't seen that game last episode, the Champions League, we could not get past the post. It was absolutely ridiculous. Let's tell them to calm down. We've certainly been saved quite a few times this game. We still have not had a shot on goal. This is beginning to get ridiculous. If we should get another shout. There's still 15 minutes to go, but it will definitely be a demand more. I'm wondering if we should tell... Oh, there we go. It's a good interception by Gonzalez. I'm not quite sure why he's defending in there, but Patrick Roberts, we've got some space here. Can he? Oh, he's run into Wilson. Can we get... When that sort of thing starts happening, when your two arguably best players collide with each other and then they go on a counter-attack and score, shocking finish. You just start to think it's not your day. So let's try and just exploit the middle here. Play with width and exploit the middle. We'll roam from positions at this point as well because we don't really have much to lose. Give it a demand more. Odegaard from the free kick, just over. We have another sub to make. We might look to take Gonzalez off for Strands Larsen. Or do we just go all out, go 2 at the back, 3 at top? Let's do that just for fun. All right, so this is just an all-out attack that we're going for now. And hopefully, if we can salvage something. I mean, a loss, it's not the worst, but it's not great, is it? We just haven't. We got a shot on target, so that's something. Still 5 minutes to go here if we can get this ball back. We have left ourselves hopelessly open at the back. There we go, Dele Alli. Can he get that? We can. Lima up to Strands Larsen. Can he pick a pass? Go on, Paddy Roberts. Come on. Go on. Oh, has that hit the crossbar? Oh. Well, that was the chance, wasn't it? Well, at least we got a little bit of excitement from the game. Come on, we're past the time that was supposed to be added. Can we get something here? Oh, this looks like it's going to be it, doesn't it? We're doing our best for closing down. No, there's just too much space. We've got so many men pushed forward that, yeah, this was always the risk, wasn't it? Don't score a second now. You've already won the game. Gorlini's there. Relatively safe. Wouldn't say safe as houses, maybe safe as a sturdy tent. And there it is. Well, that's disappointing. Patrick Roberts just had that chance at the end there that could have salvaged a point, but we wouldn't have deserved it. So far from pleased, and on we go. All right, so that was disappointing. It's just a 4-point gap, still 4 games to go, but that was, on paper, the most difficult game that we had, wasn't it? We still have Middlesbrough, Huddersfield, Stoke, and Southampton. So we can still afford a loss and have a point lead. So Middlesbrough now is a must-win game, isn't it, versus 18th. So stay right there and we'll be back with this game. Okay, welcome back for Middlesbrough. Now, as you can see, we are the favourites, though their form has picked up and they are, I believe, in a relegation battle. They're in the relegation spot, so they need this win as badly as we do. We can see Arsenal's already beaten Wolves, so that really puts the pressure on us because they're just a point behind now. So let's have a look at the team that we're going with. We have half an eye on the Arsenal Champions League semi-final midweek. So a few changes. We've got Golini in goal. Ahmed Zovic has come in along with Vendrongelen and Kone as the defence. Davies and Bree down the right in for Conte. Doyle Hayes is playing in midfield with Luis Felipe. With Roberts, Wilson and Strands Larsen is in for Gonzalez. If you remember the end of the last game, he had a bit of a knock. So we're going to rest him, keep him fresh. And I'm sure Strands Larsen can do the job for us. Okay, so we can see their lineup there. Davy Klassen, Memphis Depay. So there's a few familiar names in there. This Bertram is actually a very highly rated player as well. I've scouted him at 87% rated by the scouts. We don't really play with wingers, so I don't necessarily have an interest in signing him, but he's a very, very good player. Rebrov says do it for the fans. I think let's take some pressure off. We should win this one comfortably, which we should. So just play your game and we'll get there. And then we'll give it some passion. We have faith. Hasn't really worked for Vendrongelen, has it? He looks switched off, but otherwise it seems to have worked relatively well. For Wilson as well. All right, let's go. All right, here we go. It's a big game. We need the 3 points. Let's hope that the team can deliver. Let's want to try that again. Let me know what you think in the comments about our tactics for the Arsenal game. Obviously, we have them coming up over 2 legs now. I think the high line for the most part worked. I'm not convinced if we should have had maybe Patrick Roberts up was maybe too advanced, if we should have 2 midfielders and then a screener. Let me get this from the corner. Doyle Hayes, got goal! He doesn't get many Doyle Hayes, but he is definitely a threat in the air. And look at that. He's sort of been trained, or I've been training him to as a replacement for Jedinak, because he's sort of big and strong, but he has the pace, which Jedinak never really had, even when we were in the championship and first starting out. Jedinak wasn't really blessed with pace. Oh, what is that? Ben Davies, what are you doing? Post saved us. That is unbelievable. Can we give it a concentrate? That I'm tempted to just take him off right now. What a terrible pass. I can't think what I'll say. Oh yeah, Doyle Hayes. So I think he's someone who should be getting possibly more goals, because we know Jedinak used to pop up with quite a few from set pieces and corners. So Doyle Hayes knocks that one back to Davies. Can he pick out a teammate? He's picked out Doyle Hayes. We have someone on the edge of the area here. There it is. It's Luis Felipe. Oh, goal! So that's a second goal. That was a wonderful strike from the edge of the area, and given Middlesbrough's predicament, that should hopefully see them off. We don't want to obviously get too complacent here. We're looking motivated though. If we can keep this lead into half-time. They've had more of the ball, to be fair. Their shots obviously have not been quality ones, because they've only had the one on target. Let's concentrate. Another throw-in. This one's gone to Wilson. Can he pick someone out at the back post? Van Drongelen! Oh, off the post again. He should have scored either way, but a little bit unlucky if he's hit the post there. I think he did. I don't think the keeper got a hand to it. So we're still 2 minutes away from half-time, so this is going to be an actual highlight. Can we get in the header there? We've got 2 men. We can. Patrick Roberts gets on the second ball. Early ball for Strands Larson. Can he pick out someone? Wilson! Oh, too easy. Well, that does kill the game. 3 goals. And the wonderful thing about that is we can start resting players now for Arsenal. I think we'll take Wilson off at half-time. We have the Boob on the bench, so we'll bring him on. And then, do we rest Patrick Roberts? I'm wondering if we should actually rest Ben Davies, keep him fresh. Mings will be fine coming on with a 3-goal lead. Not even a dopey Mings can do that, surely. So we give it an assertive, don't get complacent. And anyway, so let's tell Felipe he's doing well. Let's get these formalities out of the way first. Strands Larson. There's more to come from him. And Ben Davies, we'll just tell him there's more to come, but he's going to come off the bench. So we'll bring on Mings for Davies, the Boob for Wilson, and then we'll keep a sub up our sleeve. I'm thinking Horahan for Roberts is probably the change that we'll make, because Breeze already... The only other potential one is maybe to give Van Drongelen a rest, because he has played, I think, pretty much every game this season, so that might be a one that we need to look at. Can we give... No, we can't give them team talk. So I don't understand why you can't, if you bring a sub on, you can't give them a team talk, but that's fine. Be interesting to see how this second half plays out, actually. If Borough collapse and, we might be able to get a few past them here, or if they're going to sort of... I mean, they have nothing to lose, really. A bit, goal difference might be something. I'm not sure how goal difference is looking at the bottom of the table there. Now, let's just keep them concentrated here. Breeze not having his best game. I feel like the Boob does sometimes struggle to come off the bench and make an impact. When we started him, he tends to score, but sometimes off the bench he just doesn't quite have the impact that we would want. He's dropping deep there. That's good. Out to Mings. Can Mings pick out Strange Larson at the back post? He's lofted it up. Strange Larson! Oh, it's just not quite there. That may have been crossbar again. We've hit the crossbar just, it seems, way more than you would expect just on average in the last few games. Let's encourage. It's probably time to make a sub. Who's looking tired? Felipe's looking tired. Doyle Hayes. We don't really need Doyle Hayes, though. I think... And you know what? Let's give Cadden a game. He's a young Scottish centre-back here. I'm not sure if he's played on a Channel game before. You can see only 19. Very good prospect. So let's give him a game. Let's take Van Drongelen off. And we can see Cadden in action. Watch Roberts or someone get an injury now. Of course, Horahan won't be pleased to not get a run out in this one. But I think he's off at the end of the season anyway. We did get Jedinak to sign on for an extra year on almost half the wages, which was perfect. And I think that now means that's a good win for us there. I think what that means is that we'll look to sell Horahan. That'll open up someone to come into as vice captain and into the leadership role. And then we can... I'm pleased with that. And then we can look to hopefully just get Jedinak to retire and sign on as a coach for the following season. Well, that would be, 23-24 season. So that's a good win. We've kept our 4-point gap. We are still... if United win, we'll still be 4 points ahead of them as well. They were in the FA Cup semi-final, I think, so that's why they haven't played yet. But that's it for this episode. Bit of a dodgy start against Arsenal, but roaring back against Borough. And next up, we have, of course, the Arsenal Champions League semi-final. It'll be both legs, the first and second leg. There is an outside chance that we could win the league against Huddersfield. If we win and Arsenal and United both lose, we'd then be 7 points ahead with 2 games in hand. I think that's unlikely. So what we'll do is we'll come back next episode for both legs of the semi-final against Arsenal. You would not want to miss that. It's going to be massive. We have to get revenge for the league, of course. So do make sure you check back for that. If you've enjoyed the video, obviously, thumbs up. And if you haven't already, subscribe. Otherwise, I've been Aussie Bill, and thank you very much for watching. And we'll catch you next time for a Champions League semi-final. Take care. After recording the Middlesbrough game, my poor cat had a turn for the worse, and we had to put it to sleep. So as a small, meaningless tribute, this episode is dedicated to her. May she rest in peace.